Let's solve some blood Punnett square problems together. There are three alleles controlling the ABO blood types. IA and IB with capital letters are co-dominant genes so that the combination IA-IB produces the AB blood type. The third allele, little I, is recessive to the other two alleles. Let's make a summary of this information so that we have a key to work with. IA is blood type A, and so is IA little I. This also produces blood type A. IAB, capital B, produces blood type B, and IB little I is the heterozygous kind of blood type B. IB produces the blood type AB. And the only genotype that produces blood type O is little I. That gives O blood type. Now let's see if we can solve these problems together, starting with A. We're given that the parents is blood type A and blood type AB, and then the question is it possible to produce a child with type B blood? Yes or no? So what we would have to do is to consider both types of type A blood. We would have to consider type A, that is homozygous, and type A blood that is heterozygous. So we would have to cross both kinds of type A blood with the type AB blood. Now let me show you how to do this in a Punnett square, or you can use the crossover trick. If we draw a Punnett square, it'll be a little 4-block Punnett square, and we will put IA, and IAB in the first cross. If we combine the possible alleles here, we end up with type A blood that is homozygous, and we end up also with the possibility of type AB blood. So A and AB is possible. But that's not the only blood type we should consider, right? We should also look at the heterozygous type A blood. So let's draw a second Punnett. So this would be our IA little I crossed with an IB. So we'll see if we combine the alleles, we can end up with both kinds of type A blood, the homozygous and the heterozygous kind. And then we can have type AB blood, and we can have type B blood. So yes, it is possible to also have type B blood. So the answer to A is yes. Now let me use example B and show you how to use the crossover trick if you don't have time to draw out a whole Punnett square. So we're going to consider the parents with type A and type O blood. And the question is, could they have children that have type A blood? Again, don't forget, we have to consider both kinds of type A blood. So we have to cross the homozygous and the heterozygous type of A blood with the type O blood, which is only one, and that is the little I, the homozygous recessive kind. So using the little crossover trick, we could do the following. We could say, if we cross this first one with the second one, we're going to have type A that is heterozygous. And if we cross the second, combine those two alleles, we're going to have also heterozygous type A blood. Now let's do the other possibility. If we do type A here, crossing with this allele, we're going to have IA little I. And if we cross the two little alleles, we're going to have little I. So is it possible to have type A blood? Yes, it is possible. to have type A blood. So the answer to B would also be yes. Now it's up to you to use either the Punnett square or a crossover trick to show the genotype formation as long as you write the genotype correctly. We use a capital I or uppercase I to show the immunoglobulin gene, and we show the uppercase A and uppercase B to show that those are dominant alleles, but they also are codominant, because if you have IA, IB, it produces blood type AB. So let's do one more example. Then I think you should be able to do the last two on your own. Let's look at C, where we're crossing a type A and a type B parent. Is it possible to have a child with type O blood? Again here, they're just not telling us directly, but we need to consider both kinds of type A blood. And now we will also have to consider both kinds of type B blood to cross those with each other. And if you have paid attention to how we have combined the alleles, what should stand out to you here is that in order to produce a type O child, we have to have two little i's. And so if you look at these genotypes here provided, if we have an IA little I and an IB little I, that would be able then to produce for us a child with type O blood, because we see there are those two lowercase i's, our recessive type of blood, type O. So yes, that is possible. I suggest to always check your work using a Punnett square. If you work too fast through a problem, maybe you make a little mistake, which is easy to happen. And then if you have the Punnett square, you could also always double check your work. So with B times B blood, you're going to say have the same scenario as the question asked over here. Could you have type O blood? Well, remember, the only way you can have type O blood is if you have those two little I alleles, the recessive alleles. So you would have to cross the heterozygous type B blood with each other to produce the type O blood. So yes, it is possible for two parents with type B blood, and as long as they have the heterozygous type blood, to produce a child with type O blood. And let's look at that last example together. If you have two parents that are both type AB blood, could they possibly have a child with type A? Well, here there's just one genotype involved, because we know that A and B are codominant. So if we use a little Punnett square and we separate the alleles in our Punnett square, we'll see it is possible to have type A blood. It is possible to have type AB blood in those two scenarios over there. And then it is also possible to have type B blood. So a summary would be type A blood is possible, type AB blood is possible, and type B blood is possible. So the answer here to E is yes.